fighting when I'm in my school uniform.
You can say that again.
Hello everyone, it's Jack here again and welcome back to Jack's Mangaverse. The end of the season is just around the corner and episode 11 builds up the climax toward what we can expect to be a great series finale. This episode is fantastic, combining action with perfectly placed sparks of humor, bringing to life one of the most anticipated moments from the manga. We get to see the whole group come together for the first time, along with Jiji and the new guy Kinta Sakata, who as you may have expected is here to stay. So get comfy and together let's take a look at everything that happened in this episode of Dandadan. Continuing directly from the previous episode, the Kaiju, now giant, begins chasing our heroes all over the city. Okaru, Momo, and Kinta must run for their lives while somewhere else in the city we see Aira and Jiji noticing that something strange has happened. Not only has the sky turned pitch black, but there isn't a single person to be found. Aira takes the lead and decides it's best to search and regroup with Momo. But as they start running to find her, they are surprised by the group running away from the Kaiju. Panic spreads quickly among our beloved group of characters, and soon Aira and Jiji are also running away from the chasing Kaiju. Kenta trips while running and needs to be rescued by the quick reactions of Momo, Aira, and Okaru. The three decide to fight back and distract the monster, while Jiji is instructed to take Kinta and run to Momo's house. At this point, we're treated to what I consider a very nice set of character development scenes, where we see Aira claiming to be the leader of the group, actually leading the attacks against the Kaiju. Using her wits and power, she seems to have a chance for a second, but the Kaiju strikes back with a lightning attack that overwhelms our protagonist. Aira keeps pushing forward with some help from Momo and Okaru, but in the end, the Kaiju is too much for her to handle. Their attempt seems useless, and chaos reigns on the battlefield as the Kaiju rampages through the city. In the middle of that chaos, Aira takes a hit that leaves her unconscious. Meanwhile, the episode takes us to Jiji, who is carrying Kinta and asking him not to sweat or drool on him. This isn't out of repulsion as Kinta assumes, but because contact with cold fluids will trigger his transformation and the evil eye will take over. Kinta, incredulous on mocking him, thinks Jiji is just making up excuses not to current him. But he soon sees how, despite Jiji's immense willpower to stop the transformation, he fails in the end. The evil eye takes over at the worst possible moment. Back with Momo and company, Okaran uses his remaining transformation energy to save Aira from the potential lethal blow. Things could have gone very badly for her, but Okaran saves her at the cost of losing his transformation. He has exceeded his limits, and it's now only Momo, the one who can use her powers. It's time to retreat and regroup, and that's exactly what they decide to do. In one of those absurdly funny moments, Jiji's backpack that was thrown away by the evil eye suddenly hits the Kaiju and buys some precious time for our trio to escape. Back at Momo's place, the whole team is regrouped. We see a new love triangle clash between Momo and Aira and an enthusiastic evil eye who thought that today was his chance to fight Okarun again. The group manages to calm down and they focus on thinking about how to deal with the Kaiju threat. The answer comes to Okarun while observing a pensive Momo. Momo's deep thoughts trigger the nanoskin cubes used to rebuild the house, and they start to glow. As the Kaiju approaches in the distance, Okaran explains his idea. If they could somehow imagine a way to turn the house into a weapon, the nanoskin could transform the whole house and give them the upper hand against the Kaiju. However, the problem is that Okaran seems to lack the imagination to execute such a feat. He tries it, but the house just turns into a wobbly jelly that almost traps them. Enter the new boy Kinta Sakata to save the day. He explained that if it's about sci-fi and imagination, he's definitely the master of it. And just as he finishes telling this to Okaran, the whole house starts glowing and transforming. Kenta is using his mind to imagine it, the way the house can transform and allow them to fight back. Through a crazy transformation sequence that excuse reference to classes like Zettai Muteki Reijin O or Best King Go Lion, and even a little bit of Power Rangers, the entire house starts to disassemble and reconfigure. The walls fold, the furniture unfolds, and our characters are each taken to their commander stations while the house turns into an enormous robotic figure. The design, however, ends up being a bit peculiar. Although we see a clear reference to Gundam in the transformation, the GREAT-KINTA BOSATU ZV ends being somehow a weird-looking giant Buddha with wings. Yes, it's weird, and the name is a mouthful, but it's exactly what our protagonist needed. We see our protagonists each sitting at their control decks and speaking via floating screens to each other. We also learned that this is not what Kinta originally imagined and that somehow Momo's thoughts contaminated Kinta's original idea while she was thinking about a giant Buddha. And with that, the episode ends, but the next episode, which is expected to be the season finale, will hopefully bring this epic showdown to a conclusion. And well guys, that was it for this episode of Dandadan. We were left on such a cliffhanger awaiting the big season finale showdown where I hope to see the giant Buddha exchanging blows with the Kaiju. The episode is brilliant in the way that we're seeing growth from Aira's side and the new dynamics of a bigger group with Kinta and Jiji, who cannot yet control his transformation, all coming together in this epic showdown against the Kaiju. And sincerely, I love the episode from beginning to end, therefore I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. Now, it is your turn. Let me know your thoughts about the episode in the comments below and if you are also excited about the epic finale. Thank you once again for watching. Remember to give me a like to help me grow my channel and until next time.